Hey, it's Laura, and let's make some more stuff with our little tag album that we've got going on. Now, how the order of this little tag book thing that I've gotten started on has been, it went the first tag, that little tag, and then the second tag. But that gets a little bit busy. So what I want to have is something that doesn't have as much collage, doesn't have as much stuff on it. And there happened to be this black tag that in my little pile of tags. And if I do that, it kind of gives a little rest to the eye. So if I just leave this black, which I like, and put on something that just covers over the label, and then I can do whatever I want on the back. So let's go ahead and get that done. So I pulled together a few pieces that I like just in the interest of time. So if I take this little bit that's left over from the brain is not working this morning. A gel print, blah, and this is on some handmade paper. So if I just glue that down. Now I use glue sticks a lot these days. They're quick, they're easy. I mean, I used to be one who was like super particular about measuring and all that kind of stuff. And it's one area I've loosened up about. Oh, let's see. Wait a minute. I think I want this guy underneath. So it goes. So then I have this guy. Well, maybe I glued down too soon. So I have that guy, but see, he kind of covers. Oh, that doesn't. Or maybe I just have it going where it doesn't really go below, because I like that raggedy edge. Oh, that'll work. Let's do that. Okay. Yeah, so in the interest of time, I try to pull a few things out beforehand so that you're not sitting there watching me digging through my piles of, ridiculous number of piles of stuff. Okay, so this guy can go on there. Ooh, that side's kind of cool too. No, I like this side, so. Anyway. Cat hair, because there's cat hair on everything. Take that little guy off, stick that down. Then I have just a little piece of fabric stuff. I kind of like him vertical. Not all the way to the edge. Up there, okay. So we'll put a little piece on there. Kind of like all the frayed stuff on. Then I have a little piece of velvet. I'm going to run him, and he's all twisted up, and I'm going to leave him twisted. So let's just stick that down here, and maybe not twist quite as much. So untwist a little bit so I can glue that part down, but not leave it glued down in the very center part. So it's still got the twist thingy in it. But see, that's so much simpler. So when this layers over it, it kind of visually still ties in, but it's not as busy as this background. So it gives some visual relief to you when you're looking through it. You may not notice that, but it does. So let me grab that's not the one I want. Marker. Of course, the one I want is never in the pile. There it is. I don't know why I use pink a lot, hot pink especially. It's just, excuse me, right now with redheads kind of having our moment, I can kind of speak to this is, my entire life, redheads shouldn't wear pink. And my mom would make me like brown dotted Swiss dresses and stuff when I was like a toddler, because, you know, you can only find pink. So I use hot pink a lot as an accent. So I got just some little X's along there. But see, keeping it simple, not everything has to have a story on it. But see, that just simple looks nice and clean. So then on the back side, there's more stuff to cover up too. I have, again, I put a pile of some goodies together. Maybe we'll incorporate this back in there too, but I want to put this piece of, ooh, do I want that side? I do. Let's see, these Asian papers always double too. And a little bit shows through, but I'm gonna, maybe I should do this 2 layers then, so it does cover that up. Now, if you do this with matte medium, it makes it much more translucent. But because on this, I don't necessarily want it to be translucent, so I'm going to just go ahead and stick it down. Works out perfectly to be the right size. I'll trim this rather than this. Some of these papers, some of these vintage Asian papers are on, it's a very fibrous paper. Sometimes they tear, no, and sometimes they, because they have a lot of like rice fiber and stuff like that in them, they don't always tear cleanly. They're very, ooh, I like that little piece. Let's scrunch it up. We're going to use that. So keep that. But now see, because I'm doing that double layer, I'm going to put my glue stick on there. Stick that down. See, so now I don't see anything through that. Then I have a piece of tissue that I want to put on there because I have a stamp that I'm going to do. And there's this is like newsprint, so there's a line there. So I'm going to use that line so I know where to stick it down to. Now, I prefer, in terms of glue sticks, the Oohoo ones. But as we saw from the very first video, that one was kind of dried up and dead. So I could get this Scotch one. It's a lot stickier. I like the Oohoo because it sticks down, but it's not quite as sticky when you're first putting stuff on. That kind of gooey, sticky kind of thing. Now I have this stamp. Stampers and on it. I think it's a Tim Holtz stamp. But I got to remember to talk louder because I'm talking too soft lately. Okay, I should have grabbed this out. Okay, we're just going to use a StazOn. Okay, Timber Brown. Hopefully it's not all dried up. I don't stamp that often. Oh, yes. Ink your stamp. Don't stamp your ink. Is it wet? Yes. And this says, change is to give up what we are to become what we could be. And since I'm kind of going through this period of a little bit of change, it seems gradual to me, but to others, because of my not being on any one social media platform as much as I used to be, it's kind of spread around. I'm more on Instagram than anything, just because it's just posting pictures. But now that I'm trying to get back into videos, people think I've been gone when I honestly haven't. Well, it's been a lot. It's kind of been hit or miss, peekaboo. I feel like I've been working, though I haven't always been producing stuff for others to maybe I don't need that on there. No, I think I'll skip on that. But I do have some more of this kind of velvety, ribbony stuff that I want to put on there. Maybe right along that edge. And then a lot of people, especially here from YouTube, because I spent so much time you know, I did YouTube, and then I moved over to where I was live streaming, and I was on a different platform for that before I came back to YouTube Live. So a lot of people just think I kind of just disappeared when I didn't really disappear per se. Oh, look, that comes up and lands right on that, so I can just wrap it around. So I didn't disappear per se. It's more a case of I just was elsewhere. So I have a terabyte versus I can't even talk. I have a terabyte worth of videos over on my website. So that's just a tangle of threads and Google that I keep, and rather than tossing it because, you know, pack rat thing, let's put a little blob of this guy in there. This is off of that when I just a minute ago. I like these little tangled little webs. And then I have a couple of pieces of little Tim Holtz, those, you know, these little, here's all this little tiny shit stuff. So anyway, oops, I said a bad word. I'm not supposed to. You didn't hear that. Okay, so let's stick this down. I'm supposed to go out with a friend of mine, so that's why I'm kind of hurrying this to get this done before she arrives. And I want to maintain my try for daily video stuff. Okay, so then bend my butterfly wings up a little bit. No, it is. I'll come down mainly in the middle. I don't know if he'll stick great with. Because the butterfly also, this change, you know, butterflies are about change when they change from a caterpillar into a butterfly. So anyway, so that one's a little bit different from the front side. And then we've got the back side. But how that works out is it gives a little visual respite there. And then this works. And so when these are all hooked together down the road, I probably should have thought about the fact that these are going to flip and done things differently, but I don't know. I may make it loosely done so that you can still, you know, you can also turn it around and then go, I'll figure that part out down the road. We may also just line them up over on one side. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get to it, but we've got the fold over tag, and it had a tag inside of it, and then I've got some little a 3-parter tag that I'm also going to put in the middle. So we're building up a nice little book with the renowned history of her troubled thoughts. So anyway, there we go. Don't forget, make stuff. Thanks a bunch.